Hello everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to make a magic origami ring using paper or card that you have lying around the house. And what's really cool about it is like a stress ball, so it's something that you can keep playing with and twisting and just fidgeting with. And it makes lots of lovely pretty shapes, and it's just very satisfying to make and to play with. To get started, you just need a few simple things from around the house. A few sheets of paper, whether it be light card, I'm fortunate enough to have some pattern card here, or plain printer's paper that you have, or even some flyers that have come through your letterbox. A ruler, a pen, pencil, marker, and a pair of scissors. And you need enough paper to make 8 small squares, and I'll give you those dimensions shortly. So each magic origami circle is made with 8 pieces of paper. This is a completed one here on my right, and on the left I've got one which is part completed, which I will complete while I'm showing this demonstration. So I've got 4 that have already been added in, and 4 more squares to make the rest of it. So to get started, you just need to take your paper, ideally 4 different colors or 2 different colors, and if you've just got white, that'll still look fine, and cut yourself a number of squares. These squares were, I think they were 9 centimeters. Yeah, these were 9 centimeters by 9 centimeters. So use your ruler to get perfect squares and cut yourself 8 pieces to get started. So I'm going to show you how I fold the first square in a larger piece of paper, just so that it's easier to see before I move on to those patterned ones. So to get started, you need to fold your paper in half horizontally, and be careful to just try and get those folds as neat as possible. And to reinforce each fold with your fingernail or a ruler if you've got one, and I bend them over the other way too. Open that up, rotate it 90 degrees and fold it horizontally again. So this first stage is made up of doing a whole series of folds to just get the creases in the right place before we start to fold it in the exact order it needs to be to make up one of those 8 components. So I've opened it up and I'm going to fold it in the other direction just to reinforce that fold. Use my fingernail. Open it up one more time, and then I'm going to fold it diagonally. Get all those corners nice and neat, reinforce the fold, fold it over, and just get that fold nice and solid. Open it up, rotate it 90 one more time, and do the last diagonal fold. And flip it over itself. Reinforce that, and now we have done all the preparatory folding that we need for this square piece. So we've got 2 diagonals, 1 vertical and 1 horizontal. So to fold it all together, I'm going to take the 2 horizontal sides and I'm going to fold them towards one another and pinch them together with one hand. The rest of it is going to start to splay open a bit, and that's quite good. I wanted to do that. Now, while I'm still pinching the middle, I'm going to take the vertical fold, which is there, I'm going to push it up to where my fingers are pinching on both sides. Take that inner fold, push it up to the center. And what I should be left with is a lovely, nice triangle shape. I'm then going to create a kite shape using the top flaps of this triangle. So I'm going to fold this piece along the central line, pulling this corner down. So look at the central line, fold it as carefully as you can, reinforce it, and go ahead and do the same on the other side. I'm then going to flip it over and do the same on the other side with the last 2 remaining flaps. And once you've done that, you have completed one folded piece of the 8 that make up the magic circle. It is, let's here's what it looks like all together. It will open up nicely if you just leave it, and that is what you want it to look like. So you need to fold all 8 pieces like this. How you join the pieces is you take 2 pieces that are already folded and you face them towards each other with the stumpier side of the kite facing inwards and the pointier side facing outwards. And what you're going to do is you let them pop up. They're going to naturally pop up because of how they've been folded, and your focus is on the ones that are facing you, not the bits that are touching the table. So you're going to want to get this flap to insert into this pocket, which is formed up here, and you want to get this flap to insert onto this pocket that is formed on this side. So don't worry about what's going on underneath, just focus on those top bits. So you have to do them almost simultaneously so that they go in carefully. Don't worry about the back, the ones close to the table. So get it just into that little pocket first. Once you know that it's in both of them, then you can start to sneak them in and keep slipping them in. They should slip in just like a foot would into a sock, and you should reach a point where the corners meet really nicely and you've got a lovely diamond shape and you are ready to do the next step. So they folded in. Something's happened at the back here, which I'm going to undo. So I don't want the back to be connected. They're fine. You want those flaps to be loose, but I want this diamond shape where the front bits that I've worked on have slid in from the right to the left. The next thing I do is I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to run it from corner to corner across the width of the kite. And I'm going to fold the kite that is showing, the yellow piece, in half using that rest of that other piece. And what I'll land up with is 2 pieces that are connected. So I'm going to free up the last 4 flaps because I don't need those yet. What I was doing is I was creating the fold, the junction where these 2 connect. This is the one which I showed you earlier, which is a bit smaller. So I've attached 4 of them so far, and I'm going to show you how I attach the last ones. So I find flattening it is helpful. And again, I'm working on the top layer, ignore what goes on at the bottom. So I'm going to choose my next one to go in. Let's go with the blue one. Kites facing one another, so ignore these ones on the right. Stumpy side inwards, pointy side towards your palms, and I'm going to insert right into left. And again, I'm going to find those little pockets and maneuver these in. Sometimes it gets a bit more fiddly when you've got more going on in the background, but all very doable. Right, so once they start to slot in together, sneak them in nicely. Sometimes you need to open it up a bit just to get them right in corner to corner. Don't skip this step until you know that the corners match nicely and you've got that nice diamond shape between your fingers. Right, I've got the shape I wanted. I'm just going to gather these in the back to make it easier on the next step. Don't worry about what's going on underneath. Push them in nice together. I'm going to take my ruler, run it along the width from corner to corner, and I'm going to fold it up like a book on top of itself and squeeze it all together. Remove the ruler and I should have 2 flaps loose. If they're caught under, just release them. I'll have 2 on each side, and I've now added another piece. Right, so I'm on my last step now where I'm going to connect them all together. I've got 7 pieces all attached, and this is the 8th and last piece I'm going to put in. So I'm going to compress the circle which I've got done. I'm going to do what I've done before. Facing towards me, I'm going to connect the 2 pieces, sliding it into the pockets that are facing upright. Once they're in, slide them till I have a nice diamond shape and the corners are meeting. You can do this with your fingers as well, so I'm going to just pinch with my left hand while I fold it back over on itself and connect them. Pinch them nicely so you've got some good folds. Free up the 2 flaps on each side. I've got all my pieces together, and all I need to do is now face it towards myself. So I've got the 2 kites pointing, and again I'm going to focus on the 2 at the top, but I need to allow some space for the rest of the stuff to fall at the bottom, and do the insert again, right into left. A little bit more fiddly because you've got stuff hanging out underneath that's connecting the 2 together. so you can't compress the stack. But once you see that they're going in, start sliding them in. Oh, this one's bending a little bit. There we go. Finally got it all in. So I can see that diamond shape forming. Got the rest of it hanging underneath. I'm going to apply pressure onto the top. I'm going to pinch some of them together to give me a bit of leverage here on the left, not all of them. And then once I've got a good grip of it, I'm going to fold that last triangle over. And I'm just going to use this as an opportunity to pinch them all together. You'll never be able to pinch them all in one go. But I have completed my magic circle. So that is complete, and it will now metamorph into a lovely springy piece which you can play with in front of the TV, if you're reading a book, if you're relaxing in bed. I just find it really nice to play with these, and this one's extra fun because it's got all the pattern colors and different patterns on the inside, and it just makes for a nice little gimmick to have around the house. It does work better if you've got smaller pieces of paper, but it's much fiddlier to make when it's much smaller. So start off big. This one was 9 centimeters by 9 centimeters. Go down to 8 if you want, and enjoy playing with it. Thanks for watching.